Unit 9, Lesson 2 test. Number 1. Which type of spacecraft would best be used to explore the surface of a planet? A. Satellite. B. Space probe. C. Space shuttle. D. Space station. Number 2. Which of these statements does not pose a limit to human space exploration? Hint, Step 1. Think about the physical needs and limits of humans. Step 2. Consider each of the limits presented, comparing them to the known needs and limits of humans. Step 3. Choose the statement that describes the limit that is least likely to be affected by the needs of humans. A. The distance between objects in space. B. The necessity of humans to have water and air. C. The number of objects in space to be explored. D. The technology required to travel through space. Number 3. Some places in the universe are too distant for humans to observe directly. Which of these technologies is used to observe these distant places? A. Probe. B. Rocket. C. Space shuttle. D. Space station. Number 4. Colin is planning a long-term experiment that involves observing humans in space for many years. Which of these choices poses the greatest limit to his experiment? Hint, Step 1. Think about the physical needs and limits of humans. Step 2. Consider each of the limits presented, comparing them to the known needs and limits of humans. Step 3. Choose the statement that describes the limit that is most affected by the needs of humans. A. The type of supplies humans would need to survive in space. B. The technology required to propel a manned spacecraft through space. C. The time required to transport a human from Earth to distant objects. D. The length of time humans can safely live in a weightless environment. Number 5. Scientists use spacecraft to study a variety of objects in space. What benefits do unmanned spacecraft provide to space scientists? A. Instruments never commit errors. B. Instruments can be sent places humans cannot go. C. Instruments can replace analysis by human scientists. D. Instruments require more control over the environment than human spaceflight does. Number 6. The diagram below shows a configuration of several groups of satellites orbiting Earth. What is the most likely purpose of these satellites? A. Navigation. B. Data collection. C. Communication. D. Sample collection. Number 7. Karen is studying types of spacecraft. Which of these spacecraft can people use to travel to and from orbits close to Earth? A. Space probe. B. Space shuttle. C. Space station. D. Space telescope. Number 8. Which of these studies is most likely performed by remote observation? A. A study of a planet that orbits a star other than the Sun. B. A study of the Earth's oceans by scientists on a research boat. C. A study of the effects of weightlessness on humans on a space station. D. A study of the composition of rocks returned from the moon by astronauts. Number 9. The space age began in 1957 when the Soviet Union launched the first satellite. In which of the following locations would you expect to find a satellite? A. In the ocean. B. On the surface of another planet. C. On a rover. D. Orbiting Earth. Number 10. Scientists at NASA are planning a human mission to the space station. Which of these spacecraft would they use to deliver astronauts to the space station? A. Space shuttle. B. Space probe. C. Unmanned rocket. D. Artificial satellite. Number 11. Remote observation techniques can be used to view locations that are difficult to visit. Which of these choices is not an example of remote sensing? A. Humans collecting rock and soil samples on the moon. B. Probes analyzing the composition of Jupiter's atmosphere. C. A telescope that orbits Earth collecting images at distant planets. D. An artificial satellite that orbits the Sun measuring solar radiation. Number 12. Which of the following are two main categories of technology that humans use to explore space? A. Artificial and remote. B. Rockets and shuttles. C. Satellites and orbiters. D. Manned and unmanned. Number 13. In which of the following technologies do satellites work together to aid in navigation? A. Radio telescope. B. Optical telescope. C. Interstellar space probe. D. Global positioning system. Number 14. Which of the following is an example of an unmanned technology only? A. Lander. B. Rocket. C. Space shuttle. D. Space station. Number 15. Which of the following is both a manned and unmanned technology? A. Lander. B. Orbiter. C. Rocket. D. Space shuttle. Number 16. Satellites in orbit around Earth are used for various purposes. For which one of the following purposes are satellites not used? A. Transmitting signals over large distances to remote locations. B. Monitoring changes in the Earth's environment over time. C. Changing the Earth's orbit. D. Collecting different types of weather data. Number 17. Why do astronauts who live in the space station have to exercise every day? A. There is not much else to do and exercising passes the time. B. It prevents their bones and muscles from weakening. C. Astronauts need to stay in good shape. D. It helps them to sleep better at night. Number 18. Which of the following is not an example of technology used in crewed space exploration? A. A space shuttle. B. A space station. C. A space telescope. D. A rocket. Number 19. When Edwin was training for his ham radio license, he learned that satellites can also be used for communication. The diagram below shows a satellite can be used to relay information. Why does the sender require the satellite to relay the signal to the destination? Hint, Step 1. Determine the function of the satellite. Step 2. Consider how the shape of the Earth may affect communications between ground-based stations. A. The signal is too weak to reach the receiver without being boosted by the satellite. B. The receiver is able to receive signals only from the satellites and not directly from the sender. C. The weather between the sender and the receiver would block the signal from reaching the receiver. D. The signal moves in a straight line and the curve of the Earth would prevent the signal from reaching the receiver. Number 20. The space age began in 1957 when the Soviet Union launched Sputnik 1 into low Earth orbit. What was Sputnik 1? A. A space shuttle. B. A probe. C. A satellite. D. A rover.